Alright everyone, now we have to talk about the blue-collar bullshit plan of Joe Biden, his jobs and economic plan. He's got a nice nifty little slogan for it, the blue-collar blueprint. We're gonna return blue-collar jobs to the US, bring back manufacturing, and all of these other things that are literally incompatible with his energy policy and his trade policies, by the way. This is something that we saw a lot of during the Obama administration, which is sloganeering. You have a nifty little catchphrase, and then you follow it up with no action. The only deviation from this was the Trump administration. Of course, he said build the wall and then proceeded to try to build the wall, and despite obstruction managed to get some of it done, retrofit a bunch more. You can say that 30-foot steel bollards aren't a wall, but that's just splitting hairs. Build back better is an example of a Biden slogan. Are we better off now than we were in 2017 or so? No, obviously. Economically, socially, politically, crime rate, diplomacy, there's basically nothing that's better. Trump made things better, COVID hit, and the rest is history. You can look back to the Obama admin. If you want to know Biden's strategy, usually you go to Obama, because of course he served under him as VP. They were working very closely together, especially in Wuhan, it seems, which is going to be certainly a new tech exclusive of the day. And he learned from the best. Obama was a master at sloganeering. The idea of forward, the idea of using progress as a slogan. Shovel-ready, though, I think is probably the closest approximation to blue-collar blueprint. I have the feeling that between his apparently dead-on-arrival infrastructure bill, which may not even get passed at all, the Republicans lowballed it so much, he's going to have to go back to the negotiating table yet again. He's already had to stab the left in the back to make it somewhat past the smell test, but there are still enough Republican holdouts in the Senate that he has to go back to the drawing board again. By the way, Mitch Bitch the Turtle is actually the one hardballing him at the moment, so kudos to him. He's doing something right for a change. Very, very rare. So you have to reward him and pat him on the head when he does. Shovel-ready is probably the best approximation. You'll remember this. Massive job spending, and the idea was that the jobs were literally shovel-ready. It puts an image in your mind, like all good slogans do. Essentially, we're ready on day one. We've got the manpower, we've got the equipment, all of these infrastructure projects, which is what they were earmarked as at the time, are ready to go. All we have to do is prime the pump by giving them money. Invest in solar firm like Solyndra or in other projects that half the time never got accomplished. Years later, Obama, when he was challenged on this, he said, well, yeah, I guess shovel-ready wasn't really fully shovel-ready. And it was considered a very funny moment. Yeah, it's really funny to waste tens of billions of dollars, by the way. This is considered humor in government. They're like, oh, $10 billion? I wipe my ass with $10 billion, says Obama. But that's probably what this is going to be like. Essentially, we're going to throw money at a bunch of projects. Some of them will make a return, and most of them will fall flat. It's like the idea of rail. And Buttigieg being in there, he likes trains a lot, so he's constantly ranting about this. Do you believe that it's actually a good idea logistically in a country like the United States, large as it is, state decentralized as it is, with enough infrastructure problems as it is, do you believe that high-speed rail is actually a good idea for the U.S. economy? With regards to everything except for transiting minerals and shit like that, no. It would be a money sponge. Amtrak has been like this for years. If you look just at environmental regulations, which Biden is prepping to amp up more, these stand in the way of building more rail. There's a reason that our rail system is ages old and falling apart, because nobody's allowed to repair it. Nobody's allowed to expand it. Nobody's allowed to make it profitable because of regulations. It's not like here in Europe where the regulators largely, they get out of the fucking way for everything other than zoning because they realize that it has a payoff. But there's also a difference between the population density of, I don't know, the Netherlands or parts of the UK or France and parts of the US. You're spanning hundreds of miles of bullshit, hundreds of miles of nothing if you're trying to build like transatlantic rail at all. There's no reason to make it high speed. Who the fuck is going to use it? But this is going to be part of his blue-collar blueprint. Now, supposedly that's going to help U.S. manufacturers. I'll tell you what would help them. Get Keystone. Allow energy leases. You know, the fuel industry, places like New Mexico, parts of Texas, is a big thing. The Dakotas and shit with pipelines and gassy fields and shit like that. That's where your blue-collar jobs are coming from. Blue-collar jobs, they no longer come from the cannery. See, Biden is stuck in the 1950s in suburban Delaware of I'm a company company family, and we're all blue collar, and my dad worked in the mine, and my mom worked in the salt quarry, and my grandparents worked at the fishery. That's not what the blue collar work is about anymore. Yeah, there's like plumbing and electricians and shit, but when you're talking about the actual production, a lot of it's oil and gas. You know, the enemies of Joe Biden, supposedly, who on any given day he can't remember whether he wants to ban fracking or expand it. That's where your blue-collar jobs come from. Those little factory towns, they no longer exist. It's called the Rust Belt for a reason. He's trying to cater to Rust Belt economics. The only thing that helped the Rust Belt was when Trump deregulated things and brought some jobs back because he waged a trade war against China. We're not going to get that from Beijing Biden. He's completely over the barrel as far as China goes. He's also shitting his pants right now because we know that the flu came from Wuhan after all, and it looks like there might have been some gain-of-function research involving none other than Dr. Fauci while it was being overseen by the Obama administration that Biden himself was part of. Yeah, he's going to put the screws to China. He's going to put Beijing under a lot of stress so that they tell all and release paperwork talking about the culpability of the Obama admin, completely cratering Biden's popularity. He's not going to do jack shit. So you're not going to get the blue-collar jobs. You're not going to get any blue-collar jobs back. The only restoration of jobs even happening right now is jobs that were furloughed and destroyed by the state governors with lockdown bullcrap, and then the lockdowns end, so, you know, you've got a power vacuum if the business is gone, or certainly a lot of people that want to consume and be materialistic if the business is still there, and so, yeah, you're going to get, you know, some more hirings and stuff. Despite that, despite everything economically it should look up right now, unemployment still managed to tick up last month. Biden is so bad for the economy, he ushered in stagflation and an uptick in unemployment in a time when it should have been a no-brainer. There shouldn't be the ability for jobs to disappear. It shouldn't be capable of happening. It should be structurally, it should be impossible right now for the number of new jobs not to at least keep pace with the population. Biden managed it. Somehow, we're not even 100% sure Biden managed to fuck things up. Now, Obama certainly was right. Yeah, never underestimate Joe's ability to do that. That's about all. Peace out.